Whew, that Soulja Boy case gave me such a headache. Oh man, I'm so happy to be on vacation. But I gotta keep up with my work, you know. Being an attorney is tough work, and I can't let my clients slip even on vacation. Let's go ahead and check to see what good old Soulja Boy is doing, huh? To anyone who thinks Nintendo is after me, you're wrong. The games were licensed to us? Yeah, you... Look, don't play like you didn't see who came up in your phone. You know who this is. I'm on vacation, and I just checked your Twitter again. Did we not have this conversation? Stay off social media. You know what? Listen to me. I'm telling you, Nintendo's coming off holiday. All these companies are coming off Exodus, okay? I'm on vacation right now. I'm coming back in 2 days. Just remove the damn consoles, and we'll talk about this when I get back. God. The dude's an idiot. What can I say? I thought I was done with the Soulja Boy for a while. Was gonna take a nice long deserved break from the fake gangster crap that this kid is peddling. But no, we got an update from Soulja Boy pulling his consoles from his store. That's right, if that's all you came here for, this is all you wanted out of the video, yes, his consoles are no longer on his storefront. But I'll get into the whys and what led up to this, so you can stay tuned for that. But now that I've done the work to sift through his Twitter, and let me tell you, finding these tweets to put together a story and a case to explain this craziness, it's like finding a turd in a sewer, except the turd is insulting YouTubers, Nintendo, and acting like it's shit don't stink. Yes, Twitter is crazy loaded down every day with tons of tweets. This will come into play later. So yeah, well, Soulja Boy, I really hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so. Now let's get into what exactly happened. Real quick recap, if you're completely blind to what's going on, Soulja Boy is a former rapper, current business tycoon partnered with a company to sell emulation consoles here in the States preloaded with ROMs such as Mario, Street Fighter, Metal Gear, and many more. He was shipping these out of a different country, but he did have plans to set up a brick and mortar store to sell these game consoles in. That's a big no-no. I mean, you've seen these pirated consoles in like malls and things like that, but they weren't really that big of a deal because they weren't attached to someone's big name like Soulja Boy, a celebrity of sorts. People like Rerez on YouTube have reviewed these consoles fully, finding that they cannot even run games properly. Mario Brothers being one of the worst that I've ever seen, a game that's over 30 years old with screen tearing. Screen tearing on an NES emulator. I can't even, honestly. A Pentium 2 can run an NES emulator better than this console. And the other games having FPS issues, sound issues, control issues, man, it's all very, very bad. So, even if he has a 100% legal system, the Fuse is an online-only system that's actually made for markets outside of America and the West, so Canada and Mexico. It doesn't really work that well with those systems, so you can't really play it because, again, it's online only. And big shout-outs to Rerez for enduring all of his consoles. You took one for the team, but also shout-outs to all the other YouTubers that reviewed these systems and destroyed Soulja Boy completely. It was us whom got Soulja Boy's systems pulled. And if you don't believe yourself, in the words of DJ Khaled, congratulations, you played yourself. That's a big deal because Soulja Boy for the last few days has been saying how fat white neckbeards are keeping a black man down. The same guy who claimed to make $5 million off these consoles is being kept down by a couple of what was it? White fat nerds, as Soulja Boy so eloquently put it. Don't worry, I already roasted this joke of a boy's ass in a previous video. And in that video, I did explain the most basic of terms that Nintendo is going to be coming for him. And if not Nintendo, then there are other companies that are quite greedy as well. Yeah, it happened. It sure happened. He took the consoles off his store. I'm kind of going fast here. This is a story that has taken me about 3 videos and around 30 to 40 minutes altogether to explain all the problems here. But put simply, Soulja Boy can't sell a console in America preloaded with ROMs. These are games that were created. These are intellectual properties. Cases like this have occurred before, but the most recent one being Sony taking legal action against someone whom hacked the PlayStation and sold it on eBay preloaded with games for the console itself, games that were currently being sold. There is a case to be made for games that were never released. They just didn't come to where you lived ever for whatever reason. Maybe they're not being sold for profit anymore, but Soulja Boy was selling a console with Super Mario Bros. On it. That game alone violates copyright infringement of Nintendo's intellectual property. And the law's violation comes with paying back the money earned via a lawsuit, the potential for sales lost, which means he could pay back a lot more, and it carries a possible 10 to 20 year prison sentence as well. Recently, a site known as LoveROMs was sued for $12 million by Nintendo, and they weren't selling consoles with preloaded ROMs. So really take that into context when you think about what Soulja Boy was doing. When people began to discover that the Soulja Boy consoles were removed from his store, I looked through Twitter to see if there was any real evidence why, and what I found was astonishing, to be honest. December 28th. To anyone who thinks Nintendo is after me, you're wrong. Media take out post that fake story. They haven't taken any legal action because they can't. I'm no English major, but that sentence really killed me just attempting to read the words. I mean, wow, man. I'm telling you, he's rough on Twitter. Anyways, the date and the blatant disregard for Nintendo are all that needs to be noted here. Continuing on, December 28th, Julia Alexander, super here for Soulja Boy vs. Nintendo as 2019's first big battle. And on the same day, Soulja Boy replied with, well, keep waiting. The games were licensed to us. Why y'all want to see a black man fail so bad? SMH. Again, the race card doesn't work here because no one's being racist towards him. But that childish little defense of being a black man and being kept down doesn't matter, honestly. Even though it's cringy, it doesn't matter because he said something that's infinitely more important and seriously damning in terms of court and legal cases. He stated that the games were licensed to us. Us, I'm assuming being him and his company, but again, his tweet doesn't clarify. So as the prosecuting attorney, I would definitely allude to those, trying to encompass that he is stating that he did indeed have all the licenses given to him, and he's lying greatly. I would also point out that Nintendo, Konami, Capcom, Sega are the companies that I've pointed out in the past, but there are so many more that he has infringed on. I doubt even 5 million would be enough to buy a Nintendo license alone, but there you have it. So this tweet will likely get a conviction against him in court. If not due to vagueness, or possibly due to vagueness, he will be convicted. Who knows? Again, it just depends on the courts. People have gone to prison for less. We are still looking at Twitter here, and this is where things actually get interesting. Take a look at December 27th. Soulja Boy is clearly promoting all of his consoles on Twitter. Now this is really, really important, and the date is really, really important. Now we are going into his website, and that's where he sold all of these consoles, and they're gone. They're not there. They're gone. This happened around December 28th, 29th. So the question has to be asked, why would a boy who claims that he has a license to all of those games, but that Nintendo ain't gonna do shit, and that fat white YouTubers are dumb, why then would you remove the consoles if they sold so well? You're not afraid, are you? Because, you know, you said that a lot. You weren't afraid. In regard to this whole situation, what does he have to say about it? I had to boss up. I didn't have a choice. Excuse me. What does that mean? Other than you had to back down because you got a cease and desist order, maybe? Is that what happened? Boss up? You mean that the bosses that are way above you, little boy, told you to take those clone consoles down before you got prison time? Is that it? Does that explain boss up? I also like the little shrugging emoji at the end. Perfection, Soulja Boy. Pure cringe, to be honest. As if you had no idea this was going to happen, or oh well, you know, there's nothing I could do. Oopsie daisy. Accidentally sold 5 million consoles and had to take them off. Oopsie daisies. And by the way, his Twitter is extensive. His tweets are a lot. Like, he tweets a lot. So when the last thing you see was him saying he had to boss up at the time, it's for quite some time. That's all he said. It's pretty telling that he then removes the consoles from the store and stops tweeting. And so ends the saga of Soulja Boy. No one knows who, what, or why, but if you're making millions from your consoles and you truly believe you have done nothing illegal, then why remove them? Well, I have a couple theories. The first theory is that this all kicked off right before Christmas, meaning that the holiday break or the Exodus break, most big companies worldwide, they take break around Christmas time. Even if they don't believe in Christmas or don't celebrate it, a lot of other people do, so they just take break. Even if Nintendo knew about it, they likely weren't concerned enough to call legal back into the office and go back into the office themselves just to deal with this little Soulja Boy debacle going on. So they just waited until Exodus ended, and now that they got back into the office, it's time to take out the trash. Theory number 2. Soulja Boy knew about this window being so short of a period of time. People buy gifts on Christmas, so it's a nice window to sell your consoles. So he then sold these consoles in this window of time to his blind fans that knew nothing about consoles and video games, and poof, millions. And theory number 3, this was just a PR stunt. A stupid one that will likely cost him millions, but a PR stunt all the same. If you are going to deceive yourself into believing that he had all these game licenses or the permission from every single one of these companies affected to do this, I promise you, you have once again played yourself. It's not going to happen. No company like Nintendo is going to say, oh yeah, you could sell our consoles, just promote yourself. Hell no. So any one of these theories is likely. There's probably a combination of them. There's probably something else as well that we just don't realize. But Soulja Boy is going to end up in court in some way, shape, or form. If he doesn't, then he's probably going to duck and dodge. I mean, he's more than likely to end up in court for tax evasion because, I mean, does this seem like a guy who's going to end up paying his taxes on $5 million in these consoles sold? I don't know. I hope he does, but as you can see from his tweets, he doesn't seem too concerned with the law. So Soulja Boy, last time I roasted your ass so much that you needed a burn heal, and this time you roasted yourself, and you have no one to blame but yourself. But I'm sure you will keep raising the race card, as if it applies to what you've done somehow, because it doesn't. This has nothing to do with race, you're just an idiot. And I'll still be here, free, walking around, enjoying life. Maybe I'll have a beer, a cup of coffee, and I won't have to go to the commissary. I won't have to look over my shoulder. I won't have to live like a prison king, because I live like a king in the free world. I'm free. I can do whatever I want. It's wonderful when you don't break the law. But you might end up in prison over this if you can't pay back everything that's owed. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be you when you do inevitably end up in court and get that letter, that cease and desist. Whew, man, that'll stop your heart. Now, you can boss up and take your joke of a life and play some really crappy versions of Super Mario Brothers on your game console, and Superman right back out of here once again. I think this will be the last video on Soulja Boy unless we actually get some court confirmation of him going to court, his charges, and if he's actually convicted. So those will probably be the 2 last videos I do on this joke of a former rapper. Ladies and gentlemen, I would greatly appreciate if you like and share this video. It would support the channel a lot, and I greatly appreciate your support through this time. You guys are great. It's nearing the end of the year, and what a year it has been. I can't believe we've grown so much. I've gained so many new subscribers, and it's all thanks to you guys just clicking that subscribe button. So if you would subscribe today, if you haven't, you can join the Maverick Rebellion. We rebel against stuff like this. We don't just conform to the media, we think for ourselves. And I'm on the road to 1 million subscribers, so help me get there. It all starts with you clicking that button. Other than that, I've got to sign on out. As always, good gaming, God bless, and thanks for taking the time out to watch this video.